calling for if that was a real plant.
My mom's here for a week or so, so she's out right
Oh, I get that.
Perfect. No problem.
It's hotter.
It's hot.
It's
Pull it off my side. I go naturally. I don't need to.
so some.
Starting their walk. No. I think it's for the pictures.
Oh, very good.
Oh.
I've had
Put it in
that
here.
one. Okay.
It'll be a bit hot.
Do I have to say my speech? What are you ready to hold on a minute. I just have to take it all in. That's a long day. Okay, lady.
Hey. Wow.
Kristophers Wish, all the team members and all the volunteers that are involved with this campaign, great pleasure to announce that Applebee's are hosting today's event. And we want to thank them, not only for helping in today's event, but they've been helping us in the province of Manitoba, as well as the province of Alberta. And what we have witnessed so far is not only getting fed. Kristopher gets pretty hungry. He says he's gained about 50 pounds since he's been eating at Applebee's. but also the genuine enthusiasm that has been shown by every member of Applebee, and we really thank you for that. Thank you. As well, some other local supporters were the Travel Lodge, who helped us out with accommodations last night, and also Ford dealership. They helped. What was the name? Festival Ford. Our van sort of had some trouble, and this morning they fixed it. And we thank them. And I want to thank the Red Deer RCMP Police Department for an excellent escort. We've got vitamin C. And I also want to thank the media for coming out here. We call them our angels also because they help to amplify our important message. And they've been doing an awesome job. Thank the media for coming out. So without any further ado, I want to introduce our first guest speaker. He's well known to your community, and he's Deputy Mayor Morris Flew out. Sorry.
Thank you very much. And special welcome to Kristopher and his mom, and to all the entourage, and congratulations to Applebee's. I guess my head is buzzing with the information and somewhat of the excitement of this occasion when I realize what Kristopher is all about. And I suppose it's really important to recognize the leadership in a young person. This young fellow has, with the help of some other people, envisioned a walk across Canada. But even bigger than that, I think, is the goal that he has. I have to share something with you today. When I knew I was going to be doing this, I reached for my donor card. And you know what? I don't have one. In Alberta, we used to sign our driver's licenses. And that's what I was looking for. And I looked all over my driver's license, and there's nothing on it. And then I thought, well, I've got to sort this out. So then I realized that it had changed. And our healthcare cards are very soft, easily destroyed cards. I haven't had a health card for years because I live in the same town with the same address, and all the doctors and all the pharmacists and everybody knows me, so they just copy the number from one another's files, and I've never needed a card. And the reason I'm telling you that story is that if I haven't got a card with a signature on the back, I'll bet there are lots of people in this room who don't have a card with a signature on the back. So that's the first place that we're failing Chris. The second place that kind of shook me up was when I was talking to the people ahead of time here and discovered, and Chris will like to tell you all the details, discovered that even though I have a signed card, that automatically does not mean that upon my death, the organs in my body will be donated to someone to save their lives or make their lives better. That it has to go through one more step, and that is there has to be consent from my family. Now, I think if I were dying in a hospital bed and we had lots of time to talk about that, that would all be done ahead of time. But what if I'm killed on the way to the ranch today? And there you go. Is my wife going to be in a wonderful position to be saying yes or no? And first of all, there isn't a donor's card in my wallet right now. It won't arrive for another 3 days. So, Chris has alerted us to the fact that we don't have a very good system in place. First of all, we use sort of pithy paper cards. Secondly, we have a signature that has to be validated by a member of the family. And thirdly, the system is a patchwork across the country. And just because I'm from Alberta doesn't mean to say that my organs are going to go to somebody from Alberta. They could be shipped off to Toronto or Newfoundland. And so we need a national program. So just from my perspective, it seems really important that those messages get out. And that's what Chris is all about. He's determined to raise awareness on all of this. And you people in the media are going to be critical to carrying that message forward. And so I think we all owe Chris, whether we we need an organ transplant or not, or whether it affects somebody in our family, we need to really applaud this young man and get behind his program. So just on behalf of Mayor Gale and my colleagues on council, I want to congratulate you again, Chris, welcome you to our city, wish you well in your cross-Canada campaign, and hopefully in as short a time as possible, we change the system so that we have a much more effective and efficient system. Thank you.
Helping us with our plea. And I also want to take this opportunity to introduce Kristi Bouchard, who's standing behind Chris, sitting behind Chris. And I don't know if maybe some people have read their notes. Kristi received a liver transplant. It's been quite a while, anyone?
1986, 18 years.
18 years, wow. And she's just a living testimonial that we have a cure in our hands. She's beautiful, she's on her way to, she's got a lot of ambition in life, and you know, this is what we have in our hands. We have a cure in our hands, and as the Deputy Mayor has mentioned, we need a lot more work and a lot more help to make sure that we're maximizing the potential. Without any further ado, I'd like to introduce the next guest. Wow.
I met Kristopher last week. Was on my way back to Edmonton, and my boss Janet called me and told me about what the situation was, and then received a call from George, and kind of didn't really know what I was getting into. But then, within 5 minutes of meeting Kristopher, he changed the entire restaurant's attitude on what was going on. This is a 14-year-old man. He's not a child or a kid. He's definitely a man. My phone's been ringing off the hooks with all the, where's Kristopher? All the ladies calling. Yeah, you know that. But he really touched a lot of people's lives last week, and I'm sure he's going to do the same this week. And we really appreciate being part of this journey. Let's give a big round of applause.
And finally, the star of the show, Kristopher Knowles.
Well, first I'd like to thank my road team. On my left, road manager George Marcello. Holding the camera, my mom, Sandy. The guy sitting right here, he's a film director. He's making a movie on me, Merle Roberts. And wherever my dad is, he is the driver of the Motorhomes. Jersey.
He's not here, Chris.
Now I'm going to start my speech. Hi, my name is Kristopher Knowles. I'm 14 years old. I've been waiting for a liver my whole life. The disease that caused me needing a liver is called Biliary Atresia. It is a common disease among infants. Most infants die shortly after birth. So far, I've been fortunate enough to still be alive. I've been in and out of the hospital most of my life. I've had over 20 operations that saved my life. I'm doing this walk to bring awareness to the shortage of organ and tissue needed. That's why I thought to myself, there is a way to save people's lives. And if I save our lives, it makes us all worthwhile. That's why I'm walking across Canada, to save the 4,000 men, women, and children that are in need of an organ. I'm trying to inspire everybody to be an organ donor. Tell your friends and family about your wishes. And if you do, you're my hero, as well as everybody else's. Please don't take your organs to heaven. Heaven knows we need them here. Alone, I can't do this, but together we can. And please make my wish come true. Thank you.
Well, that ends the speaking part of the event, and now we'll continue with a media scrum. And if you needed any more information, Kristopher's goal, as the Deputy Mayor mentioned, is not only to inspire every Canadian from coast to coast, but we're trying desperately to change the system, and we can talk more about that and urge our 3 levels of government to step up to the plate. Thank you.
Christy, what are you doing now?
Okay, so you're on day 131. Are you retired?
Sort of, today.
Yeah, so tell us why you decided to do this trip to Canada.
Oh, I decided to save the rest of the world. Let's see. At the beginning of the walk, we went down and we don't want to finish this walk.
Because I remember the story. I can't believe it.
So,
Yeah, it was 18 years ago. Actually, we got home May.
And tell us about your story, I guess.
Since birth, I got diagnosed with a disease called Biliary Atresia. And since then, I've had about 20 operations to save my life. And I'm still here.
How lucky do you feel to still
Just gotta look down, the little ones now.
Doctors don't know how I'm surviving and why I'm still alive right now, because they've never seen a kid that had the same disease as me with 14 years and still haven't got one. It started in San Diego. West. We did 76 communities in Ontario. June 18th. Then we'll fly to Toronto for 2 months for a concert.
What time are you in
Fly
here?
to St. John's Newfoundland and then walk back
What
to
time are
Toronto
you in here?
December 17th.
There are 5.
Yeah, they won't let me walk more than my health issue and everything, so.
Something she's
They
agreeing
said we're walking more than walking in a straight line.
Lane.
So probably we're able to
How are you able to do this with a liver that's not great?
well, I don't really think about losing liver right now. I do, but not really. But pretty much what's keeping me going is motivation by my road team, the students, pretty much everybody that comes around.
Have you been pretty complication-free during your walk so far?
Yep, and it's been good so far, and I'm hoping, finish it good.
How many cities and towns are you going to be passing?
We're doing 200 communities and about 700 schools.
How many pairs of shoes have you got?
That's 3 pairs.
Wow, already.
Yeah.
And fundraising as well?
Yes, we're fundraising just to get through the swabs. We're not trying to get rich off this like people are thinking. We're doing this to get through the trip, and then all the expenses at the end, we're sending it to London and Toronto Health Science Center.
So you're not necessarily trying to raise money for...
Small plate. So we'll put it here. We'll just set it here. We'll just make it. We still gotta cut this out first.
Good evening, Chris.
Yes. Rob, you can't see this. I love to go
There's a big stuff on it. Jesus.